I'm Jason with the All Things Open team. I'm here with JJ. We're going to talk about AI, softball, and much more. Welcome to the podcast. Introduce yourself, please.
Hey, thanks for having me. My name is JJ Asghar. I'm a developer advocate. I don't know what that means anymore either. Don't worry about it. That's supposed to be a joke. Hopefully somebody laughed. But yeah, no, I'm just a nerd that works for IBM that tries to tell some stories.
Yep. I think a bunch of avocados just had a sad face.
There you go. We're
going to get right into it. You believe open source AI is the future. Why is that?
So I've been trying to use this term out there, and best way I can describe it is the hero AI. So everyone in this world right now, everyone's moving towards AI, but everything's being done in walled gardens, right? Where we have the ones over in Redmond, the ones over in Silicon Valley that, without calling out names, but hopefully you get my drift. They are doing all of this stuff in very dark places where we don't know where the weights are. They claim they're open source, but are they really? Are they going to release a lot of these things? We need to talk about this as open source as a whole.
Right.
So what are we doing on my side? Is we're giving away the farm for free. We're talking about what we're doing in the open to bring people together so we can have a real conversation about what open source AI is.
I love it. So there's a lot of discussion around AI's role in development. Do you think AI will replace developers eventually?
I genuinely believe they'll augment development as a whole. I know there's a whole meme going around vibe coding and stuff like that. Believe it or not, there's a value to this where the idea of the mundane things you need to do as a developer, you should be able to ask an AI to build something for you. But what's the old saying, trust but verify? You still need to be able to verify the code that is created, because eventually it'll get so complex that you need something out there you need to understand you're not going to go, okay, let's take it back as an analogy back to cars, right? You still have mechanics dealing with engines with cars. Yeah, you might not touch your engine, but you go to a mechanic to do that. Same thing with developers. You're not going to just take a car off the lot and never open up that hood. You might need to change the oil, might need to know what's going on. You're still going to need that. But the AI is building the car, I guess. My metaphor analogy, I never get those right either, are falling apart too.
It's all good.
You get where I'm going. You get where I'm going with this.
You're bringing me back to my Michael Tiemann days. Would you buy a car with the hood welded shut?
Exactly.
That's good stuff. Well, I want to dive into your experience as a softball coach.
Yeah.
What insights do you have from that have helped you with working with developers?
So I'm a 14U softball coach, which means I get to yell at 14-year-old girls all the time, which as a dad, and then the dads out there, or parents out there, I should say, if you ever need to yell at a bunch of 14-year-old girls or preteen girls, being a softball coach is very therapeutic. Mm-hmm. But the interesting thing is I've learned if I treat the girls that I help coach just like I do with developers, and I treat the developers just like how I treat the girls who coach, this is the same kind of principles where you work on collaboration, you work together as a team, you engage and listen. There's so many people out there who mandate things, but when you work collaboratively and say, okay, you know what are we doing wrong in this situation? What is the difference between someone stealing the space and not stealing the space? Or you use the same mantras over and over again. Same as with developers. You use the same mantras. Eventually it gets stuck in their head. One of my favorite quotes that I say on the field is, what's more important, power or accuracy? Well, it's accuracy, because it's more important to get the ball where it's supposed to be than get the ball really far away, right? It's a simple concept. Well, in development, it's the same kind of principle, right? What is more important? You can get the code out very quickly, or should you, have good quality code that can be supported for long term and be able to move forward? What's more important, power or accuracy?
I love it. Great analogy. Sounds very much like the open source way to me. I want to flip it around. Are you able to bring any lessons from your development work back to the softball world or the sports world?
In the development world, I use a lot more profanity than I do on the field. Let's just put it that way. But in all seriousness, again, it's the collaboration, because development is collaborative work. I've been up there doing mob programming, trying to do some fun stuff with AI, and at this venue. Where we're working collaboratively. Well, what is a team but just a bunch of collaborations and people doing different roles? We have people just sitting down, walking and talking about stuff. Same thing on the field. One of my best things I do with the girls is that I always quickly identify the girls who are what do we call the student of the game, right? There's a couple girls who've spent time to learn how the game is played. Same thing with developers. There's always specific developers that have this really specific knack that you know that, oh, they're actually really like, you're playing with this night. You go to a Node conference or a Python conference, and you find that one with knows the minutia of that language deep down inside, and you have that conversation, be like, oh, you're the student of this thing. And it's you identify and build off of that. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Love it. That's great. Do you have any new tools you've been using lately to boost your productivity?
I use Vim still every single day, and it's not new, but it is still my old standby. I'm an old sysadmin. You look at me, I got gray in my beard, but one of the most consistent things in this world are Vim bindings, and the moment I learned the Vim language, do you know the Vim language?
Yeah.
Yeah. So as soon as I learned...
Enough to be dangerous.
There you go. As soon as I learned, delete 3 words, or, delete inside quotes, or yank inside quotes, or whatever, or change inside word. As soon as I learned that language, it's just my life is I literally do edit code now at the speed of thought.
The hotkeys of Vim, right?
Exactly.
What's one tip, best practice, or piece of advice you'd like to share with the ATO community?
There's a lot of people out there who are coming into our community who know nothing about AI, who are trying to understand the power that it is. I've learned very quickly, going back to my horrible analogies or metaphors, again, I don't know the difference. We know a lot of people need cars. There are cars out there. People are like, I need a car, I need AI. But they don't know the difference between a sports car and a truck right now. And unfortunately, our competitors in the closed source space just saying, hey, you need a car and use my car, not realizing that you should have the right tool for the right job. And what does a good developer advocate always boil down to? Use the right tool for the right job. So spend that time learning the different cars out there to be able to be successful.
Sounds great. Thanks for your time, JJ. Appreciate it.
Hey, thank you.